Knuckles! That is a terrible Idris Elba impression. But yeah, this is the new 6-part streaming event, which is available now on Paramount Plus, and obviously it links to the 2 previous Sonic the Hedgehog movies, and if rumors are to be believed, this is supposed to directly link to Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which comes out this holiday season. So we follow Knuckles the Echidna, voiced once again by Idris Elba, who's struggling to adjust to life on Earth. And this would-be warrior takes on a quote-unquote apprentice in the form of Deputy Sheriff Wade Whipple. He's training him in the ways of the Echidna warrior to help him prepare for a bowling tournament of all things in Reno, where his estranged father, played by Cary Elwes, will also be competing. I should generalize my thoughts on the previous 2 Sonic movies. And seeing as how I own both of them, that should tell you a lot. This first one, which came out right before COVID hit, I thought it was really fun. Seeing as how it's 2020, this is automatically one of the best times to have at the movie theater that entire calendar year. This one I honestly thought was a little bit better. You had Jim Carrey in both of them playing Dr. Robotnik in a very Jim Carrey role. A lot of people were actually thinking that Dr. Robotnik in this movie was his retirement, and honestly, if this was his last movie, it's a good one to go out on. But this is also where you're introduced to Knuckles, who is voiced by Idris Elba, and he was one of the show stealers of this. And I think these are really fun video game adaptations. I can't wait to see part 3. Now, especially in recent years, these video game adaptations haven't really captured a very important part of those family-friendly games. Or any platform game for that matter, and that's the side quests. These are missions that you're not necessarily required to complete in order to proceed through the main story, but you can still look through them and they can still have some fun attached to it. And I think a fun little side quest is exactly the right way to describe this Knuckles miniseries. Because I think there is a fair amount to enjoy, mainly Idris Elba once again as Knuckles. Not only is his voice work and his performance magnificent, I was really shocked at how much I was laughing at this guy throughout the entirety of 6 episodes. Because I think where the comedy comes from in the character of Knuckles, his complete lack of awareness. Like, he's taking every little event in his life so freaking seriously. It's very farcical in nature, and it's almost childish in a sense. But I just can't help but be endeared towards this character because of that lack of awareness. It's so fun to watch. And again, the CGI and the animation on him, very colorful and very vibrant. It's especially energetic once you see him in these action sequences, which are a buttload of fun. And excuse me when I say this, but these action sequences really pack a punch. And I feel like what you see is what you get off of the advertising. Yes, this premise is absolutely ludicrous. A lot of the setup of these action set pieces are completely ridiculous and outlandish. But again, where the comedy in this series comes from is Idris Elba's delivery and him taking every little thing so freaking seriously. And that, in my opinion, is what makes this action and the series as a whole pop, is Idris Elba and seeing him as Knuckles again. But I will admit, this series is not going to be one of my favorites. It is very much a mixed bag. And a lot of that has to do with the main human character of this series, Wade Whipple. Look, through the first half of the series or so, maybe even going into episode 4, I found this guy incredibly annoying. And I respect all the energy that this actor is throwing into this material. I don't know if it was a lack of communication between him and the director, or if he was supposed to come off like a gigantic man-child, or if it was just the performance or what. I just could not get into this guy, and it was like go away heat. Like, get this guy off my TV as much as you can. Let me see more Knuckles. And it's not like you don't see Knuckles at all, but it feels like Knuckles almost takes a Mr. Miyagi role in a back seat to this bloke. Like, if you're gonna give me a side quest, if you're gonna give me Knuckles on the Earth environment, I'd rather just see Knuckles navigate through life. Like, I don't give 2 shits about this guy. That is until his estranged father comes into the picture, and he is played very over the top by Cary Elwes, who, boy, he's had a very busy month. What, with the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, he's got a small role in Rebel Moon Part 2, and now this? It's good to see the Dread Pirate Roberts is still getting work in God's Year 2024. And I thought he was really fun to watch. I thought he and the actor Adam Pally had a nice connection. But damn, it took a really long time to get into this Wade Whipple guy. And it's frustrating because it took way longer than it should be to get into your main character in a sense. Because I wouldn't even call this Knuckles' story. This is Wade Whipple's story. Even though the series is named after Knuckles. So yeah, this series was, I don't know, man. I mean, there were parts of it that I enjoyed. Like anytime I saw Knuckles, anytime I heard Idris Elba's voice on screen, I was into it. It felt like a side quest series, but even though you're not necessarily focused fully on Knuckles, it doesn't feel like a true side quest, if that makes sense. Like I wanted a series of vignettes of Knuckles just going about life. I didn't necessarily need one cohesive story through 6 episodes surrounding one bloke. Man, this felt like the Wade Whipple series a lot of the time, and that was really, really frustrating. Because aside from that, there's a lot of fun to be had. Knuckles is a great character. The soundtrack choices are awesome. The theme song that they picked for this, really freaking dope. But I feel like the million-dollar question is this. Once Sonic the Hedgehog 3 hits theaters, do I think that you can watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3 while skipping this? And my answer is yes. Because in the grand scheme of the big picture of where the Sonic movies are going, Knuckles as a series, it feels so inconsequential. And that to me might be the biggest shame of them all. So with that in mind, I'm giving Knuckles a C+. Because there absolutely is fun to be had. But even though the advertising says that this series hits different, it probably doesn't hit in the way they want to. But let me know what you think of this series down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite video game adaptation is of all time. Is it one of those Sonic movies? Is it something else? As far as I go, it's gotta be The Last of Us, man. Like, give me Season 2. I am hyped for that. But I love discussing all new things in the cinematic world and the television world. If you're looking to join a great community of geeks, movie lovers, and entertainment lovers alike, then boy, you've come to the right place. So do consider subscribing, tap on that thumbs up if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more videos very soon as we kick off a jam-packed blockbuster season. And I can't wait to share my thoughts on all things new in the cinemas. I can't wait to hear all of your guys' thoughts also, because that's what makes this all the more fun for me. Guys, y'all are the best. Look out for more videos very soon. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.